Thanks to the television show Baywatch, over 1 billion people have seen this. And people say, what exactly is this? Well, this is a rescue can, and it is used over 12,000 times a year by LA County lifeguards to effect rescues. Its history is a very colorful one, and that's what we're going to discuss today. It is said that every lifeguard has a story. You name it, it seems to have happened. I'm Arthur Verge. I was an LA County lifeguard from 1974 to 2016. I'm currently a professor of history at El Camino College. I earned my PhD in history from the University of Southern California. And these are Tales from the Tower. One of the first devices that made its way to the beaches of Southern California was vis-a-vis George Freeth and Ludi Langer. George Freeth, our first lifeguard, had learned about what the Australians called the rescue wheel. What it was a device where the rescuer would put himself in a rescue belt, swim out, and another lifeguard, usually two though, would reel that lifeguard back in once they reached their victim. The problem with this is it took 2 to 3 lifeguards to effect a rescue. Another way they looked at was using boats, dories that would take an assembled crew and row out to effect a rescue. The problem for the lifeguards here in LA County was rescues happen in a blink of an eye. So by the time a dory would make it out, or somebody putting on a belt and swimming out and being reeled in, the victim would be deceased. So therefore, they were looking for a flotation device. The early rescue tubes, or rescue cans, were made of all kinds of material. The first rescue cans were actually made of metal. And the metal can was our first real rescue device based on a tin can. Although the metal can served its purpose for many, many decades, there were problems with it. In large surf, the metal cans had a tendency to injure both the victim and the lifesaver. We have here one of the originals, and this is very, very heavy. This is made of redwood. It would float very well, but again, you would have injuries. But the thinking was wood would do less damage if you got hit in the head than a metal rescue can such as this. So after World War II, with new chemicals, new plastics coming into existence, Pete Peterson decided to use neoprene. And neoprene could be a hard rubber. And that's how he designed what later became known worldwide as the Peterson Rescue Tube. And all the way up into the mid-1970s, lifeguards used it up and down the coast. So when the lifeguard would swim out, they could then clip the victim in it and swim them back in as the victim floated behind the lifesaver. The only problem with that is what happens if you have a blitz, a rescue of 3 or more victims. Only so many people can hold on. And that was the problem that confronted lifeguards in the 1970s. The person that thought there's got to be a better way was Bob Burnside, who later became chief of the LA County Lifeguard Service. He contacted a couple people, including lifeguard Steve Morgan. And it was Steve Morgan who said, maybe we could use a harder plastic. Steve Morgan went over to UCLA and found a professor there in industrial design by the name of Ken Resnick. And it was Ken Resnick who said, I see your problem with the metal can, especially in the big surf. Both the victim and the rescuer could be severely injured. So he sat down and experimented with foam, and he kept working on the design. He met with Bob Burnside, and they came up with an idea of having a rescue buoy in which you would have handles which the lifeguard could carry and which you could also place victims on. So eventually, this is what was the evolution. Today, it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. You see on beaches, people will see them hanging from the lifeguard tower. It means the lifeguard is inside the tower, or at least one lifeguard is there. When you see a lifeguard go down the tower ramp, they will always be carrying this. The rescue can makes the difference between life and death. That's why you'll never see a lifeguard without it.